Good day, bed crimers. I'm here with a bed crime bite this morning to let you know that a grand jury indicted Bryan Kohberger in the deaths of the 4 Idaho students, Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. We had talked about this being a possibility that a grand jury would convene prior to the scheduled preliminary hearing that was supposed to take place starting the week of June 26th. Turns out the grand jury did in fact secretly convene. Here's what was said on News Nation this morning.
More breaking news at this hour. A grand jury we've learned has indicted Bryan Kohberger. He's the suspect in the Idaho quadruple stabbings. What this means is the grand jury reviewed some evidence and testimony and found enough evidence to indict.
So the grand jury decided that there is ample evidence to charge Bryan Kohberger in connection with the slain students' deaths. This is a really big deal because it means that behind the scenes, a secret grand jury has been convening for quite some time, going over all those 20,000 plus pieces of evidence. And clearly, the grand jury feels that there's enough evidence to indict Bryan Kohberger. So what this means is the preliminary hearing that was scheduled to begin the week of June 26 now will not happen. The grand jury basically replaces the preliminary hearings, so now there's no need for it. The grand jury is composed of a group of community members, just like a normal jury. So the prosecution presented these people with all the evidence they have. They may have also shared some of their witnesses and had the witnesses share what they know. And after hearing all of this and seeing all the evidence, they voted to indict Bryan Kohberger. Now, that doesn't mean that Bryan Kohberger has been found guilty. It just means the case will move forward and there won't be a need for a preliminary hearing now. It also means that Bryan Kohberger is going to appear in court in Moscow, Idaho on Monday, and that is when he will have to enter his plea. He will have to say, I'm guilty or I'm not guilty. And of course, he's expected to say not guilty. And by the way, Kohberger's defense team likely did not know about this grand jury convening, so they were in the dark just like we were. And note that whatever evidence was presented to the grand jury is secret, and it's going to remain secret, at least to us. Obviously, the prosecution knows what that evidence is. Obviously, the jurors on the grand jury know what that evidence is. Bryan Kohberger's defense team, however, doesn't yet know exactly what evidence was shared during the grand jury. According to News Nation, though, the indictment will likely be published today, but it's not going to have a lot of information in it. It certainly won't list the evidence. So keep an eye out for news about the hearing that Bryan Kohberger is expected to attend on Monday. I believe that would be the arraignment. It's during the arraignment that a defendant enters his or her plea. I wanted to let you know right away. Hope you enjoyed this bed crime bite. If you did, please smash that like button. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time.